Hey guys, so this week we're going to make an Asian inspired dish, and it's a ginger sesame chicken. It couldn't be any easier to make. It does take a little bit of time because we're going to marinate it, but you literally throw all the ingredients in a bag with your chicken breast, pop it in the refrigerator for a few hours to let it soak in all the flavors and juices, and then put it in the oven and bake it for a little bit. Couldn't be more simple. So since we have to let the chicken marinate for about 5 hours or so, we need to go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your soy sauce and add about 1/3 of a cup of just regular soy sauce. Next we're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. And then next we have 2 green onions that have been sliced up. I'm just going to throw those in there. And to that we are going to add about 2 tablespoons of just a regular honey. So next we're going to add just 2 tablespoons of a chicken broth. And to that we'll add 2 minced garlic cloves. And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of freshly minced ginger. If you don't want to take the time to mince it with a knife, you can always use a grater too and just grate it down. It's a lot quicker and easier. And lastly we'll add about 1½ tablespoons or so of sesame seeds. And then you just give everything a good stir. And you're ready to go. So then I'm just going to take my chicken breast and I'm going to put it right into a Ziploc baggie. I'm using boneless chicken breasts, but I know how some of you like the bone in, so you're welcome to do that too. It just takes a little longer to cook that way. So you're going to throw these in there. Let me wash my hands. And then you're just going to pour in the mixture into the Ziploc baggie. Be careful not to spill it anywhere. And make sure you get all that good stuff in there. And then you're going to squeeze as much of the air out as you can. Zip it up. Swish it around just a little bit to make sure all the chicken is nice and covered. And you just fold up your bag so all the juice is right on the chicken. And then we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 5 hours. Yeah, I said 5 hours. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, 5 hours to marinate my chicken? Ain't nobody got time for that. If you're too impatient to wait 5 hours or you just don't have 5 hours, it's fine, don't worry about it because you can do what I'm about to do. And that's just make up a second batch of the marinade, and that way once you do start baking your chicken, you can baste it every few minutes, and that'll let some more flavor soak into it. But the longer that you let the chicken sit in the sauce that we just made, the more flavors that it'll pull into the meat, the more aromatic it'll be when you're cooking it. It'll taste a lot better the longer that you can wait. But I know some of us are impatient and we don't have time or we don't want to do that. So while I'm letting this chicken soak, I'm going to make up this batch, clean up a little mess, and fast forward the video so you're not waiting for 5 hours. Alright, so our chicken has had plenty of time to marinate, so now we're going to take it out and stick it in the oven. This doesn't really feel good to do that. Alright, and with this marinade, you're just going to get rid of it because if it's been in contact with the raw meat, you don't want it on your food, obviously. And it's going to bake at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes until cooked all the way through. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes or so since we put our chicken in the oven, so now let's pull it out and see what we got. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. So I overcooked it just a little bit. Oh my gosh! So good. Alright, so I'm going to take just a little bit of the second batch of the sauce that we made and just drizzle it over top of the warm chicken just to give it a little last bit of flavor. And it's really, really simple to serve up. When will I learn to use pot holders? So I made some just plain white rice. And if I was really taking my time, I'd make sure that it looked better than this. But I'm hungry, so I'm not waiting. Stick that there. And then we're going to take our chicken and just rest it right on top. You always got to have something to garnish it. So I'm just going to take some of our green onions here. And we're just going to throw them on top. Alright, so here's our successful Asian-inspired dish, our ginger sesame chicken. It looks good, it smells great, it's really easy to make, it just takes a little bit of time to let it sit. So I hope that you will enjoy this dish as much as I'm about to, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week for more Bites and Boots.
Be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side.